Welcome back to Pause to Unedit Yourself, a podcast where reflection meets transformation. I'm your host, Anoushka, and each episode offers you a chance to press pause and explore bite sized insights and soulful reflections from my own journey of introspection in the hope it will help you too on your path of personal evolution. Whether you're feeling stuck, seeking clarity, or simply wanting to expand, my hope is that this becomes a space of inspiration and deep remembering, guiding you to evolve from within and uncover the infinite potential that lives inside each and every one of you. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm running out of time. The days, the weeks, the months, they're flying by. And I was talking to a few friends about this as well. It's like just reminiscing, like, where has the time gone? Where have the years gone? And for me, recently, it's been recording this podcast, which I've been called to do, editing it and getting my head around it and navigating everything that life brings as well every single day. And it's easy to feel like there's simply just not enough time for everything that I want to do. Not that I need to do, that I want to do. And every time I feel that way, I really have to remind myself to press pause. I talk about it. I have to remind myself to do it. I'm enjoying every minute of what I'm doing, sharing my insights and wisdom. And for me, getting back your amazing feedback and knowing that it's reached so many of you, it really propels me to continue doing what I'm doing every single day. It's what carries me forward. So, in those moments where I really need to regulate myself and I take a deep breath, I sit with my morning cup of coffee in a malasana, which is like a squat position, or and I just sit there, just pondering. And if the weather is nice, I take I go for a walk barefoot in the garden on the grass, or I just try and meditate for about 10 minutes. And in those pauses, I start to remember something really important. What is time really? You see, time as we know it, the minutes, the hours, the days, it's actually a construct. It's a measurement of progress. Like, think about it. It's something that the mind has created to actually make sense of this physical world that we live. So we can plan and sort things out into a series of events. But in reality, in actual truth, when you sit with it, does time actually exist? Does it actually exist in the way that we think it does, in this linear fashion? Or actually, is it an illusion? Yeah, it's a really hard thing for our minds to understand, because actually time was invented by our head in order to make sense of these things in this physical reality, in this 3D reality that we live in. And the more that I've kind of delved into this and the more that I've thought of it, it started making sense. And I've been studying Kabbalah, and in this recent teaching, it actually explained that in this physical world that we live in, time is not an innate human sense, right? So think about it. You're sitting in a completely still room. There's no sounds. It's dark. There's no movement. There's no clocks. Do we feel time in that moment, in that space? No, we wouldn't feel time at all, because we wouldn't be able to tell time. We wouldn't see a clock on the walls. We wouldn't have a watch on our wrists. We wouldn't be able to see the sunrise and the sunset. So, through all of this, if you think about it, if you really sat and thought about it, we see time because it's perceived through an action by something physical that is happening one after another. And our mind uses this sequence of experiences to measure and give meaning that a certain amount of time must have passed. But that's all it is. It's perception. It's perception of our reality. And so as I kind of pondered on this a lot more, I started thinking about it. And, we often speak of the past and the future. As it's like a tangible place that we've been to or some kind of destination that we're going towards. But here's the thing, right? Here's the reality of it. Is there any past? Is there any future? No. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been to the past? Have you ever been to the future? Think about it. Just think about that. Because all that truly exists is the now. It's this present moment. It's the here and now. That we talk about the past and the future, and they're just these mental projections, these stories that we tell ourselves based on a memory that's in the past or an imagination of something that we think about happening. We talk about it like it's a real place, but really it only exists in our mind. When we live in the past, we are stuck in these stories of regret, of shame, of nostalgia. And then when we project into the future, we create anxiety, thinking of something that hasn't actually happened yet. We create this aspect of fear, of these what ifs, and we create these expectations. But when we root ourselves in the now, there is a phenomenal shift that happens, something really powerful that happens. We become still, we become aware, we become present. And you know what? That's where true life unfolds. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to write this down and journal about it. Have you ever truly existed in the past or the future? Or have you only experienced life in the now? And so when you kind of think about that, you're like, well, hold on a second. Then what is actually holding us to this past? What is holding us to the future? And it's a really key thing. You know what it is? It's the ego. You see, the ego, it can't survive in the present now. The ego likes stories. And so it constantly pulls us into loops. So in the loops of the past, it will be like, I should have. And that's a regret, right? If only I had. That's a story of guilt. Or it ends up creating scenarios for the future. Oh, what if this happens? And so then you start creating anxiety. And then when I have this, I'll be happy, right? And it's causing this delay that you're only going to achieve or realize what you desire sometime in the future. And so actually, most of our struggles are rooted in this deep narrative that is tied to these imagined timelines. And if we look back at what has happened and we start replaying these memories and mistakes as if we could rewrite them, and if we project ourselves forward into the future that hasn't yet arrived, creating stories of worry, hope, or fear, why are we doing this? Because the ego survival depends on this distraction. It thrives. It absolutely thrives in these moments in the past and the future, but not in the present. And your soul, you know where your soul lives? It only lives in the now. And I wanted to add a bit more context around timing, around time and divine timing. So these are kind of two things you might have heard. So let's reframe timing. If we say it's not about clocks or calendars, it's about frequency. And when you hear divine timing, I want you to think about it as all about your inner growth that you need to experience to align yourself with what you actually want to call in that moment. It's about that moment that your energy field matches the frequency of what you're calling in. That's what divine timing is. And so it can feel like you're waiting, but actually, that process, it's calibrating to this new frequency that you're adjusting to, that you are calling in. And you hear a lot about manifestation and manifestation techniques. So when you actually understand that the words are really powerful, and it's in the words that we utilize that kind of manifest our reality, and it's the language that we use to describe that we're able to relate to time, that reinforces this belief of where we are and what it is that we're calling in. So think about it. When you say, I don't have time, what you end up doing is that you're actually lowering your frequency by creating and reinforcing this aspect of lack. And when you say, I'll be happy when, you create this distance and separation from what already exists on another frequency. And when you say you need to become, because the moment you believe that you need to become, you start creating this illusion that you are not already enough. And so instead of chasing this future version of yourself, you really need to try being that version of yourself now. And so by aligning your consciousness with your future self, you end up releasing what no longer serves you. You start to embody what already exists energetically, and you start to match that frequency. So here's a prompt for you to think about. What if nothing is delayed? What if everything is already unfolding perfectly in sync with your soul's growth? I want you to think of time like a river. You know, when we stand on its bank, we watch it flow endlessly. And if you look at the water already downstream, think of that as the past, beyond our reach. While the future is the water that is approaching from beyond that bend. It's unseen, it's unknown. We don't know where it's coming from. And we are planted firmly in the present on the riverbank, with the river always flowing beneath us. The river itself doesn't pause or change, it simply moves moment by moment. And when we let go of trying to swim backwards or race ahead, something profound happens. We become the stillness on the bank. We start to observe the flow without actually being swept away. And this is the present. This is where life is lived and it's not imagined. And the relationship with time really starts to transform when we live in the now. Instead of being pulled by the currents of regret, of anticipation, what we actually do is we find ourselves grounded in clarity and purpose. And in this space, you know what? We are so free to create, to feel, and to simply be. You know, the past and the future are always going to whisper to you. But the truth is, they only exist, you know where? In our minds. And it's the present. This is where our power lies. It's the only moment where we can shape, where we can breathe, and where we can live. So I want you to take a deep breath with me. Feel the ground beneath you. Recognize the river, but let yourself rest on the bank, fully immersed in the gift of now. I want to leave you with 5 actionable steps that you can take to anchor in the now and that you can use anytime that you feel you need to come back to the present. So, 1, pause and breathe. Take 3 deep breaths wherever you are and come back into your body. 2, release that narrative. Notice when you're spiraling into what if or I should have. Gently come back to the present moment with awareness. 3, feel. Don't force. Align your energy with your desired future, not through hustle, but through embodiment. Feel it. 4, have a daily ritual. Choose an activity every day that anchors you into the present. It could be sipping coffee in silence, walking barefoot on the grass, taking a walk in nature, just closing your eyes and just breathing. Whatever you can do to bring yourself back into this present moment. And 5, here is a mantra for you. You can say, I am not waiting, I am becoming. I want to close by giving you this reminder that time does not control us. We create the next moment by how much light, how much presence and intention we bring into this one. So today, instead of rushing ahead or looking back, press pause, feel the moment, let the river flow, and know that everything you desire is already here in the now. Your time is valuable. It's the most precious commodity. So thank you so much for being here and sharing this space with me. Thank you for pressing pause and choosing to journey inward and daring to become the highest expression of yourself. See you on the next episode.